Okay, so what we're going to do today is going to show you how to do a weekly update for your school site. In this example, we are using Wainimi High School, but the same steps we're going to go over here can be applied for the rest of your sites. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is log into your website, and you'll do that by going to the top right corner to the admin login where it says admin login. We'll click on that. Then you just want to make sure you insert your first last name and then the same password that you use for your computer. I have a different account since I'm the webmaster, so disregard what I'm putting in right now. But yeah, like I said, you want to use your first name last name and then the same password that you use to sign into your computer. Go ahead and log in. Cancel that. After you're logged in, you'll have a black admin bar here at the top. So like I said, this is the admin bar. So this is how you're going to know that you've signed into your website. You'll see on the top right corner, it says howdy and then the username. In this case, it says my name here. So to do your first update, your weekly update, you want to go on the black bar here. You'll hover over the word that says new. Then this little drop down will come down and you want to click on post. So we're going to go to new post. Click on that. Now you're in here so you can insert your first weekly update. This first field that's at the top is where you insert the title for your weekly update. In this case, it's Wainimi High School updates. So we want to make a change here and add weekly updates. And then we want to insert the date for the Friday. So in our case, it's March 31st, 2017. That's the Friday. Once you've put in the title for your weekly update, you want to make sure you check off that it's a weekly update here under the category section here for type of newsletter. So by checking this off, you're letting the system know where this needs to be on the website and also to trigger the newsletter to go out to the parents via email. Now, once we're done with that, next is these two buttons here. This is the Add Media button. This is where you would upload your images and documents that you want to include in your post. The next button is the Add Forms. Add Forms, that's more of an admin tool for us, for me. If you were to click on it, you'll see some forms that have been previously created, but unfortunately you can't create. So that's something we're going to work to fix at a later time for you guys, to enable that ability for you. Next, this is the editor toolbar. So here is the similar tools that you have on a Word document. You want to set the headings for your titles in your post. Do you want to bold? You want to italicize? Do you want to do a bulleted list, a numbered list? Do a block quote? Do you want to align left, center, or right? Do you want to include a link? Do you want to remove a link? You can also do a strike through, edit the text color, paste text that you've copied over, clear the formatting. These are the tools that you can use here that you would find similar to a Word document. Now, this next area, this is where you'll insert all your content for the weekly update. So for example, teachers, staff, they'll send you stories via email, whether it's within the email or in a Word document, whatever it may be. My recommendation to you is to copy the content, just the text without the images, because I'm going to show you how you upload those in a bit. You want to just make sure you copy over all your content, and I'll show you an example here. So let's pretend this is a Word document and the teacher provided this to you. Every event that's in this document has a title and then the paragraph, the body of it. So we want to do here, and they've included pictures. So what we can do is just go ahead, select all, and then we can copy and bring this over and paste it, and I'll paste all of our text information here without the pictures. So this is where we have the titles. As you can see, most of these are in bold. What we want to do though is, instead of bold, we're going to make sure we put a heading of 3 on these items. Go ahead and select this. We highlight it. We want to make sure we highlight it first. We go back to the toolbar here where it says paragraph. We'll click on that and we'll go down to heading 3. We'll click on heading 3 and it'll make the change for us. So to let you know, all the fonts, those are already predefined for the website. So there, you can't pick what font to use. And there are particular performance reasons why we do that for the website. Okay, so you can though, however, if you wanted to highlight any of these and change the color to reflect something more to your school site's colors or anything like that. Just know that every time you want to change the color for one of these settings, you have to come back up here. You don't want to highlight it, come back to the toolbar, go to where it says text color, do a drop down, and then if you wanted to use red, you can highlight that and change the color to red. Or if you want to change that to blue, you can do so. Okay? Alright, so in the meantime, we're just going to put this back to black. Now what we're going to do is we're going to insert an image, a single image. So the Q team, the 2017 Q team, we want to make sure the cursor, right now it's at the end of the sentence, we want to make sure we move it to the front of here. Now we've clicked and placed it. Now we want to go up to add media, and when you click on that, you'll see a window pop up, and this is going to show you the media library. So this is everything that's been previously uploaded to your website, whether it's images or documents. But we're going to upload new images, new information here. So we want to go up here to the tabs. So for media library, we want to click on upload files. Then you'll get this window here. It says drop files anywhere to upload. You can drag and drop if you like, or click on the select button here, and then this will open up this window for you, and then you can select the files or images that are on your computer. In our case, I'm going to go to desktop, and you can place all the images you want to use on your desktop there. Or what I did, and what I would recommend probably you doing as well, is create a folder and then just date it for the weekly update you're creating this for. And in that folder, you want to put everything you've been receiving for your weekly update. All the images, or any PDF documents that they want to share, or any documents, if teachers send you their events in a Word document, just go ahead and just dump everything in one folder, date it. That way everything's nice and organized. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna include the Q picture here. So I've selected it. Then I go to open, and then this little checkbox right here is gonna let me know it's been uploaded and it's checked off. This is what we're going to use to insert it into our weekly update. Now I'm going to go over here to my right hand side, and you'll see attachment details. So the title for this image is 2017 Q. That's so you can easily find it in your media library. And now the next thing we can do also in caption, we can include information about who's in the picture, what's in the picture. In our case, I'm going to put the OUHSD Q teachers, and just put a little description, teachers and Dr. McCoy, because I believe I see Dr. McCoy back there in the background. He's like right there. Okay, so now that's that's going to include a little bit of text underneath the image. Once you're done with that, you can work your way down to insert into post. We'll click on that. Now it's inserted here. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure this text wraps around the image. So we'll click on this image. Then you see this little toolbar here pop up. This is so you can align left, align center, align right, or no alignment at all. So we're going to click on align left. And now you'll see all this info just wrap around the image. Now, we can leave it as is, and to see how it's showing up on the front end, so how it's going to be published, we'll scroll back up, and you'll see this box here that says publish, and we'll click on preview. What this is going to do is going to open up another window or another tab, and then you'll get to preview how your weekly update is going so far. So as you can see, we uploaded the image. We have our paragraphs down here. our different stories that we are including in the weekly update. So now we can go back up here. We'll go back to the first tab where we're doing all of our edits. And what I'm going to do is I want to space these out into different sections. So I'll just put my cursor at the end of this first story for the 2017 Q team. I'll hit enter on my keyboard a couple times just so I know that it's going underneath that image. Now my cursor's down here. Now the next thing I would recommend to do is let's go back to the toolbar. We'll click on the horizontal line, and that's going to add this line right here. And then that'll break off and separate the 2017 Q team from the OUHSD PD Day a Success story. So now let's go back, let's scroll back up. We'll click on preview again. So since we made those changes and we click on preview, it's going to recognize we made some changes here. So now we go back up. Now it added this line here to separate the 2017 Q team from the OUHSD PD Day a Success story. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back so you can see everything, how everything's going. Now we'll go back here, and we have some pictures for the PD Day that we had a couple days ago. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm putting the cursor back at the front. I'm gonna go back up to add media, and what I'm gonna show you is how to upload multiple pictures for one story and create it as a gallery. Okay, so we'll go back to click on upload files. We're gonna select files. Now we know this is these right here, since they've been labeled OUHSD PD Day. We'll highlight each one by holding shift and clicking each one of those files that you want. That'll highlight each one of those, so you can upload more than one at a time. Then we'll click open. Now it's brought these images in here. As you can see, they're checked off at the top right corner. Now we can go here and edit the title for each one if you'd like, and add a caption. Or we don't need to do that at all. That's up to you. That's your decision. In this case, for this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to go to the left hand side under Insert Media. I'm going to create a gallery. Now, once you're here, what happens here is that you're able to check off any additional images that you want to include with those three. If you're good with those three, we can move forward. In this case, we are. So we have these three images selected here for PD Day. Now we'll go down here to the bottom right corner where it says create a new gallery. Now here it's asking us to edit our gallery. So we can reorder the media how they are. If we want this last picture to be at the front, all we have to do is click, hold, and just drag that image over. If we want the middle one to go to the last, we just click, hold, and drag it over to the end. Once we're done with that, we can come here. By default, the size will be thumbnail, the gallery settings by default will be link to attachment page. You can leave that alone. You'll go to size, to thumbnail, you can leave that alone as well. And then type tiled mosaic, and you can leave that as is as well. You do have other options if you want. A thumbnail grid, square tiles, circles, tiled columns, slideshows. And I'll show you the two favorite ones are the tiled mosaic and the slide shadows. So I'll show you the slide shadow, how that looks in a second. Right now, it's safe to say that you can go with just the tiled mosaic and just leave everything as is with the three images. Then we'll go to the bottom right corner and insert gallery. Nope. So when you do that, you're going to see these three images separated. So that's just letting you know, okay, these images have been uploaded. These are the ones that are going to be here. If you click on it, you'll get this little border around it, letting you know that you've selected it. And this little tool here, if you want to remove it, or if you want to edit your gallery. In this case, if we wanted to, we can click on edit. And then we can reorganize these, or we can add more pictures to the gallery on the left hand side. We go to add to gallery, and then we can select more pictures, and then we just go add to gallery. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to select the Q one just to show you. So we've selected this one. If we wanted to select another image, let's say we want to add this other group shot right here. We'll select that, and now you see these are checked off. So that's letting you know you've selected these to add to the gallery. We'll go to the bottom down here to add to gallery, and now they're added at the end of our gallery right here. Okay, so now we'll go update gallery. Now we brought in all our images, and since we had previously added captions to these, it'll bring those captions in here as well. And I'll show, and you'll see how they're gonna look once they're published right now. So let's scroll back up to the publish section, and let's click on the preview button. Not publish yet, don't click on publish yet. Actually, first let's go ahead, this is a good time to let you guys know, you want to make sure you periodically go back up here and click on save draft. So we'll click on save draft right now, and it's spinning. Okay, so now you'll see this bar up here with the little green line on the left. That's letting you know the post draft has been updated. In other words, you've saved your draft. Now we can go back to the right to where it says publish. We'll click on preview. You'll see this tab to the right will start spinning, refreshing. So now we go back here. We've added a gallery section for our OUHSD PD day. So what it does now is it creates, it'll randomly pick the first image as the bigger image to show, then the next the images to the side, and it'll bring the next one over here. So as you can see, this picture is blurry. So this is a good learning experience here. You want to make sure your users send you high-res pictures. What I mean by that is if they took these with their phones, which is most likely the case, is to make sure that their users are sending you the original image to you. So when we include these, they're high-res and they won't be blurry. So that's what we want to make sure. Make sure they're not sending you low-res, low-quality images. We want the best, so we can put it here on the website and they won't be blurry. Okay. So, but what we can see here is the title for PD days here, then the gallery, and then when we scroll down, we have all of the content down here. So what we want to do is move this above the gallery, so they read that first to see what's going on, understand what these images are about. So let's go back to our tab here, and what we're gonna do is we'll click on this. We'll click and drag this down. You'll see the cursor where it's going. So we'll click and drag this at the end of our sentence. Drop it. Now that's at the bottom, and then OUHSD PD day is up here. And I know it looks a little weird here on this screen because things are kind of, you got the Q thing here and then the PD day. But trust me, when you go to click on preview, it's gonna look just right, because all the styles get applied here for the website. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so now we have OUHSD PD day here. Then we have our paragraph right after that. And then this is good because in this, our user, the reader, can read on this and then understand, what are these pictures about. Okay. So now, before we move forward on this, if you hover your mouse over these, you'll see the little tooltips pop up, and you'll see this one has a caption. I don't know if you noticed, but then the caption pops up right underneath. So if I hover the mouse over the next one, you don't see anything. If you hover over this one, the little caption pops up there. If you hover over this one, you see a little caption go, group picture of students and program coordinator. Perfect. Now, what a user can also do is if they wanted to get a bigger view of these little pictures here, or any of these that are in this gallery, the user can take their mouse, hover over them, and click on them, and then they'll get a slideshow. And then the user can go through all the images, left or right, and see this is a low, small quality of the image. That's why it's blurry on when you see it on the page, because this is the actual size of the picture. So we want to get pictures that are about this big or bigger, preferably. That way they're good quality and they're not going to be blurry. And these are some of our teachers at PD Day. Perfect. Now we can go to the top right here where the little X is. We'll click on that and it'll close the gallery for us. And we scroll down, we see the job shadows continue to make an impact for RCHS students and the paragraph that they provided for us here. So let's go back to the first tab. We'll scroll back down and we'll put our cursor right at the beginning of job shadows. I'll hit enter, and what I want to do is, now that I've made this little space here, I'll put my cursor there. I'll go back to the toolbar and I'll hit on the horizontal line and I'll click on that. So that inserts the line that'll separate the PD Day story from the shadows story. Okay, and now we have one last picture that we want to include. So I'll go ahead and put the cursor at the beginning of this paragraph. Now I'll go back up to add media. I'll go to my upload files, select files. This will open me up in the document in the weekly update folder that I created where all my documents are organized in. So now I want to include the job shadow picture. I'll click open. It's checked off, it's loading, it's loaded. The title is job shadow. And again, if you want to put a caption, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to leave it without a caption, you can do that as well. It's up to you. Now we'll go to the bottom right and insert into post. The last thing we want to do is select the picture. The toolbar here, we want to go to align left. That way the content wraps around the picture. Now I'll scroll back up. Click preview. Go back to my other tab. It's refreshed. Weekly update, Thursday, March 30th. I know it says 30th right now, but it'll, once we publish it, it'll recognize the new title and it'll say the 31st. Now we can scroll down, look over our content one last time. Everything looks pretty good. And then our job shadows looks perfect. Our image is to the left and the content is to the right. If we were to add a caption, the word would be down here below this image. The same as we did here for the Q. So there's the Q image and the caption is right below that. Okay, so that pretty much covers most of this. Oh, the last thing we want to do, and I'm going to use the job shadows as an example. Say, there's a document we want to include, like an application or some form, something like that. Let's go back to our first tab. All right, so we want to probably link to that document for either parents or students to have access to, right? So what I'll do here is I'll put my cursor down here, and we'll write student application. And if this is a PDF document that we're uploading or a Word document, we want to make sure we put what kind of document we're directing them to, we're linking to. So what I'll do here, in our case, we're doing a PDF file. I'll do parentheses, PDF, and parentheses. So I'll put the name of the document and then what kind of document it is at the end. So now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and highlight this, copy it. So we'll go highlight, go to edit, copy. Now I'm going to go to add media, go to upload files, select files. Next thing in my weekly update folder, I'll go to the parent handbook. That's what I'm going to use in this case as an example. So let's pretend that's a student application or whatever it may be. So I'll click on that. I'll click open. It's checked off. It's loading. And this will give you a quick little preview of the first page of that PDF document, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to go to the right-hand side to attachment details. The title of this says parent handbook, but what we want it to read is different. So I'm going to highlight this, delete it, then I'll go edit and paste what I previously copied, which was student application with, in parentheses PDF, letting you know what kind of document this is. In our case, this is a PDF document. Now that we're done with that, we'll scroll down and we'll click insert into post. And there it is. So it reads student application PDF. And then when you put your cursor over this, it'll let you know this is the URL it's pointing to. And if you wanted to edit this, you can click on edit to edit the URL. And then once you're done with that, you want to make sure you hit apply so you can apply the new change for the URL. Or if you want to see what other options you have, you can click on the little gear here for link options. When you click here, you can insert a brand new URL and then edit the link text how you want it to read for the user. And those are really the two places you only need to look into. Or down below to explain a little more, or link to existing content. You could also link to other pages that have been published on your website. Here you're seeing the past updates and bulletins that have been published to your website. Or you can do a search for, say, contact us. Let's try that. And then you'll get the contact page. Then you can link that, and that'll point it to the page on your school's website that has all the contact information, how to reach the school, how to get to the school, the line for the counselors or the nurse, the attendance and records, that kind of stuff. So that's just a quick example that we can, how you could use this. So you have different ways of using this. Okay, so we're gonna close out of this because we don't want to edit our URL. So I'll close. But if you did, after you make all these changes, you just want to make sure you go to the bottom right here and add a link. When you click on that, it'll make those changes for you. So we're gonna close this. We've made this. We've inserted our link, and we've uploaded the document we want to share with parents. So now I'm gonna go back up here, and I'm gonna click preview. And while we're at it, I'll go ahead and save this draft again. Perfect. Everything's refreshing. Postman has been saved. Now I'll go to the next tab to the right. And here you will give it one final review, weekly update for Thursday, March 30th. Once we hit publish, that title will update. It says Thursday because we're currently working on a Thursday on this weekly update. Okay, so we got the 2017 Q team, OUHSD PD day with pictures. And we have job shadows continue to make an impact for RCHS students. And then down below, here's our link with the student application PDF. And when a user clicks on this, it'll open up the document for them here in the window. Or if it's a Word document, it'll download the document for them to be able to view it on their computer. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the back button to go back to the site. This is the preview page. So once you reviewed all this and you're completely happy with how it looks, all the information's in for the week, we'll go back to our first tab here in the window, which says Edit Post. And the last thing to do is you just want to click on Publish.